Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Jonathan Cordingley and I'm also known as JC La Liga, and I'm here to bring you a betting preview of Saturday's La Liga action. Now, first of all, I've had a long day today. I've worked my regular job, I've been to the gym, really haven't had too much time to think about this. So I'll give you what I've got now, but it's going to be a bit briefer than normal. So we'll start off with the first game, which is Espanyol against Alaves. Now, Espanyol in their last game, they lost 2-0 away to Athletic Bilbao. Meek, poor performance, didn't put up much resistance. On the other hand, Alaves, they lost 1-0 at home to Osasuna. Now, that's a shocking result, very, very surprising result. Osasuna's a bottom team in the league, the worst team in the league. But Alaves rested a lot of players, and this weekend, we'll have to wait and show for absolute clarity, but this weekend, all the players that were rested are back in the squad again, so I expect them to feature against Espanyol. And whilst I'd normally go into the last six of each team, I think basically I think Espanyol's given up. Now, when I say that, what I mean is someone like Espanyol, their aim is to avoid relegation. So when that's been met, that requirement, they tend to give up. Even if they are on the cusp of a European place, they give up. I've seen it before with loads of teams, not just Espanyol. I've seen it before. Pardon me. Even somebody like Guillaume Balaji, I remember on the Revista de la Liga, say 6, 7 years ago, quite a while ago. I remember him saying, someone was saying like, why is Sporting won at Espanyol? It's like, well, Espanyol's given up. They won't get relegated. That's it. They've met their aim. So that looks like the case to me here. Their performance in Bilbao. I mean, if you think about it like this, they're on the cusp. They could qualify for Europe potentially, but they go away to Athletic Bilbao and give up. They did have one decent shot, but otherwise there was no resistance. They didn't care. You watch a commentary, sometimes or listen to it rather, Spanish commentary, sometimes it's Sky, whatever it is, whatever I can get. But I think it was English, probably BN Sports America or something, Bean Sports, and the guy was saying like they've just given up, haven't they? And I thought, yes, that's what I've been saying for a game or two. So, alright, Espanyol did show a bit of character coming from 1-0 down to Betis to win 2-1 at home. Nearly said in the Montjuic, in the old Espanyol Stadium, a couple of games ago. So, maybe they're going to try a bit harder at home this time, but that illustrates their ambition and the risk involved in betting on them, that they just weren't bothered away to Athletic Bilbao. So, my idea here is, Alaves' last game was down to resting a lot of players. They lost. Real Madrid was a game before. They did lose 3-0, but they should have scored, and 3-0 was a ridiculously harsh scoreline. So what I think is, we know Alaves has proved himself as a good team against anybody this season. They've done well in recent away games, apart from they had a loss to Granada, didn't they, actually? But they won at Malaga with 10 men. They've been a good team this year, so I think Alaves plus 0.25 Asian handicap. The price is 1.99, just below evens. Alaves plus half is about 7 to 10 if you can accept that, but we try and go for something near even, so I think that's the best bet there. Again, maybe Espanyol puts a bit of effort in, and I'm wrong. But we know Alaves has been a really good team against pretty much anybody within reason. So, even the big boys, maybe they're not going to pull off a result twice, as you saw when they got a result against Barcelona and then got hammered when they played him again. But, you wouldn't be back in Espanyol in this situation. So Alaves plus 0.25 at 1.99. Otherwise, there's an interesting angle on goals here. Now, again, Alaves, fairly defence-minded team, score one goal, keep it kind of thing. But 3 of the last 6 games were over 2.5 goals, and 3 of the last 6 Espanyol games were over 2.5 goals. Espanyol were a letdown for me. I needed over 3 goals or both to score, I think, in that game in Bilbao. I needed one more goal anyway, so I kind of feel like that owes me a little bit. And so if we look at it like this, again, you'll have to forgive me, I'm pretty tired, but 3 of the last 6 games for each team under my system means it should be evens. It's a 50-50 chance. Of course, with a bucket, it'd be 10 to 11, wouldn't it? It's like you bet on a coin toss or something. It's always 10 to 11, isn't it? Equal number of bets on each, please. But the price is 6 to 4 for over 2.5 goals in Espanyol Alaves. So again, 3 out of the last 6 for each over, so it's a 50-50 shot. Looking at the Espanyol home and Alaves away, the last 6 of each, 6 out of 6 Espanyol over, and 4 out of 6 Espanyol away over. So if you believe that counts for something, which I do, then 6 to 4 is a big price. So I've got Alaves plus 0.25 as my main bet, and then a smaller stake on the over at 6-4. I mean, if just the over wins, it won't pay for the other one, but I've got sort of less confidence. I just see a value in that, so it's a big price. It's a big price. So main tip again, if you only want one bet, I'd go Alaves plus a quarter. I think that's a sensible bet. But if you want something a bit chancier, maybe you want a small bet, maybe you want two bets, it's up to you. Then that over at 6-4 is value in my book. It's good value. It's evens is 50-50 and it's 6-4. It's an extra it's a bit more. Now, moving on to the I'm so tired, I was just calculating what that was in my head. I've been doubting it. I'm thinking, it's an extra half, isn't it? Too tired. Anyway, next game, of course, is Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. Now, Real Madrid, in their last game, they won 4-2 away to Leganes. It's all happened so quick, hasn't it? Wasn't this yesterday or something, I think? Was it? It might have been. Well, we're now into Saturday, aren't we? In any event. Thursday night, was it? Wow. Anyway, Morata scored a hat-trick, Bale and Ronaldo were missing. But anyway, Real Madrid won. We had a couple of winners, I remember, over at evens, and Real Madrid to win them both to score 2-1, 5-2 or something. So, they won their last game. Atletico Madrid, on the other hand, they won their last game 1-0 against Real Sociedad. They should have won about 3 or 4-0 or something, but they just can't take the chances in the first half, while Real put up a bit of resistance in the second, and Atletico, as they always do, dug deep in the trenches, defended really well, and they'll just waste their clock out after that, won't they? Anyway, it's simple in this game, basically. I'm not going to go through loads of statistics. Atletico, usually gives them a good game. Last year, of course, Real Madrid lost 1-0 to Atletico. So we can argue, really, that current form doesn't count for so much, because I remember last year, Real Madrid definitely the favourites, and I thought they'd win, but Atletico pulled it off. So these games can go against a form book. I think Atletico got beaten 3-0 once, didn't they? Was it at their own ground? That aside, these are pretty tight games in modern day. Didn't used to be. Believe you me, when I started watching Spanish football, which, properly paying attention from about 1997 onwards, I remember watching like Transworld Sport at night, and you'd have they'd show you Michael Laudrup and stuff, and little highlights and whatnot. But it's definitely it was just very different. It was just. In fact, I'm actually forgetting what I'm talking about here. What are we on about? In fact, I'm absolutely knackered. Real Madrid always used to beat Atletico, is what I was going to say. Apologies. I think it was something like when Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank scored for Atletico was the last time they beat Real Madrid, and that stretched from about 1999 or I don't know, maybe 2001 or something. Whenever Jimmy Floyd went now, I can't remember. It went from then to about 2010, probably 11 maybe or something, where Atletico Madrid hadn't beaten Real Madrid in any competitive matchup. So things used to be very different. Anyway, look, I don't want a match winner bet in this. Both to score is a bet. Real Madrid, it's nearly every game, isn't it? 5 out of the last 6. If probably 90% of the games in the last 2 or 3 months, they concede to everybody. So both teams to score. It's only 8-11, so it's not the best of prices, but you can get that with 4 bookmakers. I've just checked an odds checker. Maybe something like Sergio Ramos, anytime scorer, is a long shot, or Godin for Atletico, but I think both will score in this game. You can do both to score and over if you like, which is 21-20, but if there's one bet, and I've had it myself, 8-11 works. That's okay, just about okay. Not really value, but it's just, really, if 5 of the last 6 Madrid games are over, beat both to score, you can say it's value on its own. Not the case with Atletico. Indeed, I haven't even written down the statistics. Form book goes out the window. Real Madrid concedes nearly every game. I think Atletico can score, and Real Madrid should be able to notch one too. Look, cards are another option as well, but to be honest, I just simply don't have the time at the moment to see who the referee is, how many he gives out, or any of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. But maybe a few people on Twitter who cover cards. Yeah, that's basically it. So in an ideal world, I'd want Atletico plus 1 Asian handicap. It's 4-6, just tiny bit less than 8-11, but it's 4-6 with one bookmaker that nobody's going to have. So including me. So no one's going to be able to take advantage of that. But all right, I'd go Atletico plus 0.75 closest to handicap if I had to. But again, both to score for me. That'll do it 8-11. We'll see what happens. Now, the next game, of course, is Sevilla against Deportivo. You'd have to forgive me for all the moving about as well, because I've started going to a gym again now after a few months away, and my back is hurting. It hurts, doesn't it? It hurts doing weights. No cardiovascular, just weights. But still. Now, Sevilla have been in terrible form, as you should know. Nearly accidentally pressed stop taking video there. So Sevilla, of course, lost the last game away to Barcelona, and it was pretty much a mercy killing, really. 3-0 to Barca at half-time, and they didn't go for any more, really started bringing the kids on and stuff. Particularly displeasing to me, as I had Barca to win and over 3.5. However, these things happen. Made some good money late that night in any event. But Sevilla looks burned out. They look like they've given up. They couldn't score. Well, not given up. Not given up. That's not the right way of looking at it. But I think they're just knackered. They're just completely knackered. Now, they drew at home to Sporting Gijón in the game before that loss at Camp Nou, and they've just looked knackered. Look at them against Leicester. They just don't. They're low in confidence. They're missing penalties. They're not scoring goals. They're not taking chances. So Sevilla are unbackable. They have to be unbackable. Problem is, they're playing a team that seems also unbackable, Deportivo. Now, Deportivo, of course, beaten 3-0 against Valencia the other day. In fact, no, sorry, they played since, didn't they, as well, against Granada, wasn't it? Couldn't win against Granada. So, look, Deportivo, a little bit of a revival under Pepe Mel. I'll have to check my phone. Free advertising here. I say, oh, it's a good one. Get on the whoscored.com. Free advertising. Again, I wouldn't take any notice of any of the predictions you make on here. I think I haven't done this work, but I've had a similar stuff offered to me before. And probably somebody actually different picks a correct score, and you just have to write around it. So it's not really somebody's, thing. But that's certainly something to look at for checking the last games of teams. Football24.com is very much one I've used over the years. Initially, it was just my own opinion. I said, right, this team. I'd watch every game. I knew everything that was going on. Much older now, I can't necessarily take in as much as I used to reading all this. I used to translate stuff from Spanish. Now, I used to just look forward to watching a football. Different concerns now, a bit older. But anyway, so sorry about my babbling for you. I was just looking up Deportivo's last result. It's taken a while. Again, very, very tired. This is going to take an hour to upload. I may fall asleep before this is uploaded. What did Deportivo? They drew 0-0 with Granada, so that's not inspiring, is it? They lost 3-0 to Valencia the game before, then lost 1-0 to Celta in the Galician derby. So they went from, and the game before that they beat Barcelona. So Pepe Mel comes back. Both teams are scoring in pretty much every game. But Deportivo's getting positive results. Galician derby, every result bad since. So what do you want in that game? You can have Depor, I'm sure Depor plus 1.25 or 1.5 or something, maybe, but they're a pretty bad team, aren't they? I mean, okay. I'm just looking at it. I'm thinking off a cuff here again. Not enough time. Let's just see what price. We'll deduce this as we go along, if that's the right word even. Let's have a look. Okay, there. These cameras are very revealing, aren't they? So fat chin. This hairline as well that people keep pointing out. Let's have a look. Someone wrote on the comments, yeah, your hairline's messed up, but thanks for the tip or something. Cheeky. Deportivo plus 1.25 is 8-11. If I had to pick a bet, either that or under 2.5 goals. In fact, I'm not going to bet on this, but look at it like this. In fact, yeah, I'm not betting on this, but probably not. Maybe I'll have a tickle. I'm so tired, but I'm not. I just don't like under goals betting. I tend to get burned on under goals. But you should bet when the price is wrong, and we can definitely argue here it's wrong. Yeah, 43-40 under 2.5 goals I'm getting in Sevilla against Deportivo here. So we'll work this out quickly on the spot now. Here we go. This delightful Who Scored app should bring up the statistics now. So, Sevilla matches. Well, they lost 3-0 at Barca. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 6 matches here, which is useful. So, only 2 of Sevilla's last 6 matches have been over 2.5 goals, and they themselves haven't scored in the last 2 games. Indeed, Sevilla has scored 1 goal in their last 4 games, or 3 goals in their last 6 games. So Sevilla scored 3 goals in the last 6 games. Deportivo hasn't scored in the last 3 games, and only one of Deportivo's last 6 have been over 2.5 goals. Then does that not scream value? So again, to be honest, I just detest under goals personally. It's probably a weakness as a gambler, but I'll just not bet on the match. Unless it's like a Copa Libertadores semi-final, maybe a cup final, where, the 0-0 sort of scenarios. 1-1s, for the under 2.5. A lot of cup finals are 1-1 and extra time. Anyway, my point is here, I'm not going to bet on this myself because I just dislike unders. It spoils my viewing. But there is value there to under 2.5 goals at 43 to 40. Maybe I'll change my mind because it is a bit of value. So bad statistics for each team on the over goals. Under 2.5 is my pick. It may be wrong, but that's my pick on that game. Probably won't bet on it myself. Now the next game is a difficult one. I might have to advise you on Twitter on this one. Yes, I think I will actually, because it's Malaga against Barcelona. Now again, we'll do a work the bet out as we go along system here. I will at least try anyway. Long day. So, Malaga anyway, what did Malaga do? Did they actually win a game, possibly? I think they might have won 1-0 midweek. Let's have a look, see. But basically, Malaga's a bogey team for Barcelona. Malaga won against Barcelona, I think was it last season, at Camp Nou. We've had some good results against them over the years. It used to perennially be a both to score fixture this, but not as much. Let's have a look. Indeed, yeah, Malaga got another 0-0 against them this season. Head to head, Barcelona 0, Malaga 0. Then the other game was Malaga 1, Barca 2. Barca 1, Malaga 0. Barcelona 0, Malaga 1. Malaga 0, Barcelona 0. Barcelona 3, Malaga 0. So what that illustrates is you want Malaga on a handicap start, probably. At the moment, though, they're not so great, are they, under Michel? They did win the last game 1-0 at Sporting, yeah. Sporting, pretty bad team, yeah. In fact, I think I said you'd have to go with Sporting or draw because it were both pretty bad teams, but home advantage, 2 games in a few days, didn't work out. So it's a good result for Malaga. Barca, as we mentioned, won 3-0 against Sevilla. Like all the Barcelona games are going to be over, as you would imagine. For Malaga, it's not the same in the last 6 games. They've got, 2 of them over 2.5 goals. And that's it. So the thing is, Barcelona look pretty good right now, don't they? They're playing well. Malaga might ship. It's a difficult one. Malaga's going to put 10 men behind the ball and defend, I think. It's one of those games where you want to do Malaga plus handicap start, like I say, but Barcelona could just tear through them. Current form's important, obviously, as well as a head-to-head. Let's see what kind of handicap start you're getting on Malaga. It's going to be plus 1.5, isn't it? Let's have a look. I'm so tired I can't remember if I've mentioned this, but the Malaga goalkeeper Carmeni it'll probably be a man of the match if Malaga gets anything out of this game. That's been the case in the past. He always puts in these not always, but most of the time puts in these wonderful performances in these games. It just happens. Yes, okay, yeah. Malaga plus 1.5 at pardon me, 9 to 10, a 1.9 price there. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on Malaga scoring in this game. Is there, interestingly, a price on Carlos Carmeni, man of the match? That would be worth £1 or £2, I reckon. Look, the truth here is that I think probably Malaga plus 1.5 handicap is the bet here. However, Barca's playing really pretty well at the moment, and I am absolutely knackered, and it's hard to decide anything at all when I'm tired. So I'm going to leave it at that. It's up to you. You have to decide yourself whether you want to bet on that. I'll tell you whether I'm going to bet on it or not via Twitter, I think. But again, that's a dilemma. It's a head-to-head bogey team, so you want Malaga with a handicap start. I think that's probably the bet, but Barca's playing well, aren't they, at the moment, I'll sleep on it, literally. Again, I could roll into bed now. Thank you for viewing. Hope this is useful to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.